It's this beautiful edge design featuring bubble stitches and chains. On this video, I'll teach you how to do the Cavalier Fringe Edge. I'll be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. Okay, so for this design, we're going to start with a foundation chain that's a multiple of 20 plus 4. In my case, I have 44 chains. We're going to begin with row 1. For row 1, we're going to skip 6 chains, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 3. And then you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next. So skip 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into the next, a single crochet. Now we're going to be chaining 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 3 chains and then do 1 single crochet into the next. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 3 chains, and then into the next chain, we're going to work the following. So you skip 3 into this chain, we're going to work a bubble and a chain 1 3 times. So for a bubble stitch, it's basically a double crochet 3 together. So for that, we're going to yarn over, go into the chain, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and stop right there. And do that twice more. Yarn over, go into the same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and stop right there. And then 1 more. Yarn over, into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and stop right there. You're going to have 4 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And that is your bubble stitch. Now we're going to chain 1. And you want to do that twice more because you need 3 repetitions, all into the same chain. So what I want to say here is that your next chain is going to get quite tight. This is your next chain right now, but once you do the other 2 bubble stitches in chain 1, it's going to look a lot tighter. So you got to keep an eye on that. So I'm going to do 2 more bubble stitches in chain 1s. So yarn over into the same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop. Do that twice more into the same chain, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop. Into the next chain, into the same chain, 1 more for a total of 3. 4 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then we chain 1. And already the next chain has kind of disappeared. It's quite tight in there. And we need to do this 1 more. So that's just something to remember because you're going to be skipping several chains after and you don't want to miss that one. So I'm going to do 1 more bubble stitch chain 1 off camera into the same chain and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just did my bubble chain 1 and yeah, my next chain is hidden. If you're not careful, even the next one could be hidden. So just make sure that you're kind of pulling it out as much as you can. It could also help you to put a stitch marker into the chain before you do this to keep track of where the chains are because all these stitches kind of hide the next one. But only 1 is hidden for me. So I got to keep that in mind. Now we're going to start the row repeat. The repeat starts by skipping 3 chains. 1 of them is hidden. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then into the next, we're doing a single crochet. Now we're going to do the following repetition 3 times. You're chaining 5, skipping 3 chains, and then doing 1 single crochet into the next. So skip 1, 2, 3. Into the next chain, a single crochet. And I want to do that twice more. Chain 5. Skip 3 chains into the next, a single crochet. Now once more, chain 5. Skip 3 into the next, a single crochet. Continuing the repeat, we're going to chain 1. skip 3 chains, and into the next, we're going to work the following 3 times. A bubble and a chain 1. So basically what we did here is what we're doing to end the repeat. So again, we're skipping 3 chains after we did the chain 1, and then into the next one, do bubble, chain 1 3 times. So let me do this first one with you. You know what? Let's try that method of adding a stitch marker on the chain that I'm saying gets hidden. So here's the 3 chains that I'm skipping. This is the one that I'm going to work into. Let me bring this closer. Skipping 3. Then this is the one that I'm going to work into. And this is the one that's going to get hidden. So I'm going to put a stitch marker there just to remember that. And now I'm working into the chain right before it. So into that chain, I'm doing bubble, chain 1 3 times. This is my first bubble, chain 1. I'm going to do that twice more off camera, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay. So I just finished the 3rd repetition, and my stitch marker, of course, is kind of pulling that chain, but as you can see, it's hidden. It's hidden behind all this work. So I'm going to remove that stitch marker now, and you can kind of tell where that chain was. So now we are going to, let me see here. This was the end of the repeat. So that you would go back to the beginning. I won't be able to do it again, so I'm just going to verbalize it for you. The repeat starts by skipping 3 chains and then doing 1 single crochet into the next. Then you'll do the following 3 times. You're going to chain 5, skip 3 chains, and then do 1 single crochet into the next. You'll do all of that 3 times. Then you're going to skip 3 chains and into the next work a bubble and chain 1 3 times. And that's the end of the repeat. So for however many chains you have in the foundation chain, do that as many times as you need. And then when you get to the end, you're going to have 9 chains. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, because these are so tight, you just got to be careful that you don't skip those. At the end, you should have 9 chains. And then we're going to end up by skipping 3 chains. Once you get to the end, you skip 3, and then you do 1 single crochet into the next. So single crochet there. Then we're going to chain 5, skip 3 chains, and then do 1 single crochet into the next. Now you're going to chain 2, and into the very last chain, you're just going to do a double crochet. So into the very last chain, just a double crochet. And this is what the end of the row is going to look like. This here is the end of row 1. Let's move on to row 2 here. For row 2, we're going to chain 1 and flip our work. You're going to be doing 1 single crochet into the first stitch, into the double crochet. Then we're chaining 5. And you're going to do 1 single crochet into the first chained 5 arch, which is this one here. Around the arch, just a single crochet. Now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do the following repetition 4 times. So into the next chain space, you're going to work a bubble and then a chain 2. So you're going to do that 4 times. Essentially what we want to do is we're going to create a bubble stitch starting here. So you know how these are 3 bubble stitches. You're going to do bubble stitch, then chain 2. Then a bubble stitch in between the next 2 bubble stitches, chain 2, bubble stitch in between the next chain 2, and in between the next 2 bubble stitches, then chain 2, and 1 to the left of the last bubble stitch. So let's do it. We're going to do 1 bubble in between the single crochet and the first bubble of the previous row. So that's 3 double crochets together. I'm just going to do it quicker now. I got 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then we chain 2. And I want to do that 3 more times. Go into the next chain 1 space with a bubble stitch. Again, I'm just going to do these faster. This is what's going to give you those fans of bubble stitches. Now my next bubble is going to go in between the next 2 bubbles into the chain 1 space. Bubble stitch. This is my 3rd one. Sorry, I got caught there somewhere. There we go. And now chain 2. And the very last bubble stitch is going to go between the last bubble stitch of the previous row and the next single crochet into that chain 1 space. So we do 3 double crochets together. This is 2. This is 3. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then a chain 2. Okay. So now you've got that. We're going to begin the row repeat. The repeat starts by doing 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. So into this chain 5 arch, just a single crochet. And now we're going to do the following repetition twice. You're going to chain 5 and then do 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch, which is this one here. So let's do that again. You chain 5. Find the next chain 5 arch and into it do a single crochet. Okay, continuing the repeat, we're going to chain 2. And now we're going to be doing that same repetition of bubble into the next chain space and a chain 2 4 times. So we're doing essentially this to finish the repeat. You're going to do a bubble stitch between the single crochet and the first bubble, then a chain 2, then bubble into the chain space between the bubbles, chain 2, bubble between the chain space, in the chain space between the bubbles, chain 2, and then bubble between the bubble and the single crochet of the previous row. So I'm going to do that off camera because I already showed you how to do it. We're going to do 4 bubble stitches in the chain spaces with chain 2s in between. And I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so here we have it. I just did the 4 bubbles with chain 2s in between. And that there ends the repeat. So I won't be able to do it again, but I'm just going to verbalize for you. The repeat for this row begins at 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Then you're going to do the following 2 times. You're going to do a chain 5 and 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Then we're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do the following 4 times. You're going to do a bubble stitch into the next chain space and then a chain 2. And you're going to do that 4 times to create that arch there of bubble stitches. Then when you get to the end of the row, you're going to have 2 arches left. And so we're going to do, after the chain 2, of course, you're going to do a single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Then we're going to chain 5. And here we have the turning chain after the single crochet. So you're just going to do a single crochet into the next one. You're going to skip 2 chains. And into the next one, you're going to do a single crochet. So that's going to be counting from the chain that's attached to the single crochet. So you go 1, 2, into the next one, the 3rd one, you're going to do a single crochet. And there you have it. This here is the end of row 2. Now for row 3, we're going to start with a chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. And flip your work. We're going to be doing a single crochet into the first chain 5 arch. This chain 5 arch here, just a single crochet. Now we're going to be chaining 3. So now we're going to do this repetition 5 times. You're going to be doing a bubble stitch into the next chain space and then a chain 3. Essentially what we want here is to add, it's kind of like what we did here. So you just want to add bubble stitches to the right and the left of this fan of bubbles. and chain 3s in between. So we're going to the right of the first bubble into that chain space. Into here, we're going to do a bubble stitch. So that's a double crochet 3 together, doing it quicker. And then we're doing a chain 3. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it off camera because it's the same logic, except we're going to do a chain 3 in between. So at the end, I'm going to have a bubble here, chain 3, bubble, chain 3, bubble, chain 3, and bubble here, chain 3. I'll do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just did the 5 repetitions here. So again, you have bubbles in either side of the previous bubbles and then chain 3s in between. So now we're going to start the row repeat. The repeat starts by doing 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Then you're going to chain 5. Then you'll do 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Now we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to do the following repetition 5 times. You're going to do a bubble in the next chain space and then a chain 3. So just to complete on this side, what you did here is the same thing. Bubble stitch into the next chain space and a chain 3 5 times. I'll do that. Remember that the first one goes to the right of the first bubble. That's the first chain space that you have there. So here is my bubble and then a chain 3. I'm going to do that 4 more times and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just finished that repeat 5 times. So now I'm going to be at the end of the row, but that's the end of the repeat. Let me verbalize this row for you. The repeat starts by doing 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch, then a chain 5, 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch, then a chain 3, and then you're going to end with a repeat of 1 bubble into the next chain space and a chain 3 5 times to do this here. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to be just having 1 arch here. So we're going to do 1 single crochet into the last arch, then a chain 2, and then 1 double crochet into your last single crochet. This here is the end of row 3. Now we're going to move on to row 4 here. You begin it with a chain 1 and flip your work. You're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch. We're going to skip the chain 2 space, and now we're going to begin the row repeat. The repeat starts by chaining 4. And now we're going to find the next chain space here, and into it we're going to do the following repetition 6 times. You're going to do a bubble, and then you're going to chain 4. So the chain space to the right of the bubble of the previous row, into there we do a bubble stitch. So 3 double crochets together, 4 loops on my hook. I got caught there somehow. Then a chain 4. And we want to do that 5 more times. So I'm going to go into the chain spaces between the bubbles with a bubble stitch and then a chain 4 until I have a total of 6 bubble stitches. I'll do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just finished those repetitions and I have a total of 6 bubble stitches with chain 4s in between. Now we're going to do a single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. And that's the end of the repeat for this row. Going back to the beginning of the repeat, we start by doing a chain 4. Then we're going to do the repetition of bubble stitch into the next chain space and a chain 4. So into the next chain space, a bubble stitch. And then a chain 4. And you want to do that 5 more times for a total of 6 times. So I'm going to do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just did the final 6 bubble stitches with chain 4s in between. And now to end the row, I need to do a single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. But when you get to the end of the row, it's going to be a bit differently. You're going to do it by, you're going to finish the row by doing a single crochet into the third chain of the turning chain. We're going to count from bottom to top. So you go 1, 2, 3. Into that third chain, a single crochet. If you had more stitches, then you would just do the single crochet into the chain 5 arch. But in my case, I'm at the end of the row. So then you do that for however many times you need. And this here is the end of row 4. Now row 5, we're done with the bubble stitches for a bit. We're going to chain 5, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 2, and flip your work. We're going to skip the first chain 4 space and then do 1 single crochet into the next one. So skip this one into the next, a single crochet. Now we're going to do the following repetition 4 times. You're going to chain 5, then do 1 single crochet into the next chain 4 space. So into the next chain 4 space here, a single crochet. We want to do that 3 more times. Chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, single crochet into the next one, chain 5, single crochet. And let me count here. How many times have I done this? Let's see, single crochet. So this would be the first one, chain 5, single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And do it. Yeah, it was just 4 times. So we're all done here. So yeah, you know you're done with that repeat when you do your single crochet in between the second to last and the last bubble stitch. That's when you've done 4 of those repeats. Now we're going to begin the row repeat. The repeat starts by chaining 1, and we're going to do into the next single crochet. So this single crochet here, we're going to work the following 2 times. You're going to do a double crochet and then a chain 1. So do that again, double crochet into the same single crochet and then a chain 1. Now you're going to skip the next chain 4 space. And into the next chain 4 space, you'll do a single crochet. So skip this one and into the next, a single crochet. Now we're going to be doing the following repetition 4 times. You're going to chain 5 and then do 1 single crochet into the next chain space. So that was my first repeat. I got to do it 3 more times. Chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, 2 more times, and then 1 more time, 1 single crochet into the next chain space. And again, the last one will be between the second to last and the last bubble stitch. That's where that ends. And that ends the repeat. So let me verbalize. Let's go back to the beginning of the repeat. It starts by chaining 1, and then into the next single crochet, you're going to work the following 2 times. You're going to do a double crochet and a chain 1. Then you're going to skip the next chain 4 space, and into the next chain 4 space, you're going to do a single crochet, and then you're going to work the following 4 times. You're going to do 5 chains, so chain 5, and then do 1 single crochet into the next chain 4 space. So that's going to get you to the end of the row here. When you get to the last chain 4 space, you're just going to chain 2, and into the last single crochet of the row, you're going to do a double crochet. So double crochet to the last single crochet. This here is the end of row 5, and now on to our last row, row 6. You're going to chain 3 to begin, which counts as a double crochet. And flip your work. You're going to work into the first double crochet. You're going to work a bubble stitch. So what that's going to look like, okay, so it's going to be this stitch here. The very first stitch, work a bubble stitch, which is a double crochet. 3 together. There we go. Now we're going to chain 1 and into the next chain 5 arch. So this one here, you're going to do a single crochet. Now we're going to do the following repetition 3 times. You're going to chain 5 and do 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. So I'll do that twice more. Chain 5, 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. Then once more, single crochet. Okay. Now we're going to begin the row repeat. The repeat starts by chaining 1, skip the next chain space, and then do into the next chain space the following 3 times. We're going to do a bubble and a chain 1. So essentially that's going to go in between. You know how you did this, the double crochet chain 1s? So between the double crochets into that chain 1 space, that's where you're going to work the following. So bubble, and chain 1. And you're going to do that twice more for a total of 3 times. So I'm going to do that off camera into that same chain space, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just finished the 3 bubbles with chain 1. So after that, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space, which is this one here. And then we're going to do the following 3 times. You're going to chain 5 and then do 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. And you want to do that twice more. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space. And that there ends the repeat. So let me go back to the beginning of the repeat. The repeat starts by doing a chain 1 and then skipping the next chain space. Into the next chain space, you're going to work a bubble and a chain 1 3 times. And that should be the space between the double crochets of the previous row. Then you're going to do a single crochet into the next chain 5 arch, and then you'll do the following 3 times. Chain 5 and 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 arch. That's the repeat you want to follow. When you get to the very end of the row, you'll have a single crochet and the turning chain. And this is what we'll do. We're going to do a chain 1. And then you're going to work into the 3rd chain of the turning chain, counting from bottom to top. So 1, 2, 3. Into there, you're going to work a bubble. So you know what a bubble is. Into that same chain, you're going to work 3 double crochets together, essentially. So that's my 2nd, and that is my 3rd. That's your bubble. Then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to work a double crochet 2 together. For that, essentially, it's like a bubble, but just 2 times, right? So you do a bubble, but you only do 2 legs for it instead of 3. So you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that there is the end of row 6, and we are all done. You can go ahead and cut off your yarn and thread your ends through. All right, here we have it. This one's really pretty and intricate. Technically, you will be having the top of the edge is the foundation chain, and that's how you would sew it to your project. Then you get those really big fans of bubble stitches. Super beautiful. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.